guys, welcome. So we're getting the year started off here in 2020, or the new decade, as it were. And I know I am already ready with my goals of what I want to accomplish in 2020. Now, I know for a lot of you guys, that is becoming a homeowner. I've already been talking to a lot of buyers, and they've got a lot of questions about being pre-approved. So today I have with me my friend Lynn, who is a loan officer for Ruoff Mortgage, and she's going to answer some of your questions about what you need to get approved, how you get approved, and things like that. So so we're going to get started. So hi, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. So is there really an off season, or are you just as busy now as any other time of year?
So traditionally, yes, this is a slower time, but the markets have changed so much in the past couple of years that no, people are looking all year long. We're on tax return season, so there's more applicants coming in earlier than normal, so we're pretty busy right now.
That makes sense. I mean, there are plenty of homes out there for sure for people that want to get looking now, but even if you're thinking, oh, I want to, look for a house in that traditional house buying season in the spring, it's still a really good time to get started.
Definitely.
Yeah. So let's talk about these questions. So the first question I always get from buyers is, my credit isn't perfect. What credit score do I need to get approved?
So that is definitely a big one. You don't need perfect credit.
Okay.
FHA loans, the minimum score to get pre-approved for them is 580.
Oh, wow.
So there's definitely options for people with, less than desirable credit.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's awesome. So you mentioned FHA. A lot of buyers ask, which kind of loan should I get? Should I get FHA? Should I get conventional?
So this is definitely going to be based on, what you've got going on with your family. I don't know what's going on and what your plans are for your family in the future, things like that. But it really depends on what you're qualified for.
Okay.
If that's an option, then,
So the qualifications are different for a conventional loan than they would be for an FHA.
Correct.
Now, are they higher?
So for conventional, typically you want to they'll look at 680 as the base for that. But there's other things that they're going to look at for pre-approving you. So one of the things would be debt to income, your job history, your assets and what you have available for down payment and closing costs.
Okay. Now, when you say debt to income, are they looking at like your cable bill and how much you pay for your alarm and your cell phone? Or are we just talking like loans and credit cards and medical debt and things like that?
Great question. So basically, when we're looking at debt to income, we're looking at things that are reporting to the credit bureaus.
Okay.
So your electric bill does not report to your credit bureaus.
Gotcha.
So, but your credit cards, they do.
Yes.
So we are going to look at your credit cards.
Okay, that makes sense. Cool. So the next question I always get is, what do I need for a down payment?
So FHA, minimum score 580, you would need 3.5% down. Okay. Conventional is 5%. And then there are loan products out there with 0% down. There are down payment assistance and grants available. Typically 640 credit score is what you're looking to be approved for those.
Yep.
VA loans are great for our veterans. USDA loans are great for areas out in rural areas where they're, it's dependent on the area of the home.
Okay, so a lot of areas out in Butler County, Warren County, out east of the city, you could be looking at a USDA loan where you need 0 down. Now, for these 0 down loans, and for the loans where you mentioned you need 3.5% down, are there more funds that you need for closing? Or like if I'm looking at a $100,000 house, am I looking at $3,500 and I'm good?
You definitely, when we talk about down payment, there's still that other piece out there that you're going to have to think about, which is your closing costs. Okay. And you can, step in and say this too, speak on this, you can negotiate to have your seller help pay for some of the closing costs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But whatever they don't cover is something that you have to come out of pocket for. So you want to make sure that you have some cushion there to be able to cover costs that aren't covered.
That makes sense. Perfect. And you can definitely check with your loan officer on your specific price range that you're looking at, and they can ballpark those figures for you so you know what your cash to close is going to look like. The next question I always get is, why should I even get pre-approved? Like, can I just go start looking for houses, and then once I find the one that I want, can't I just call you up then?
No.
No.
Yes, you can. But the current market, the person that got pre-approved a week ago is way ahead of you. You can be looking at a $150,000 home, but then you go and find out, you know, how much you're pre-qualified for, pre-approved for, and you may only be able to buy a $130,000 home. So you're looking at a house that's out of your budget.
Yeah, that would be awful, especially, you know, if you get really attached to it and you find the house that you feel is like the one, and then you find out you can't afford it.
Exactly.
Oh, I can't imagine. So I get this question a lot too. I have my checking account at such and such big bank. Can't I just walk in to the bank and just say, hey guys, I want to get a mortgage?
You can. You can go into a big bank, but the options at the big bank may be limited. They may not have all the mortgage products out there that say I do or I offer. And then there's also the overlays on the standard, you know, loan guidelines. Banks typically have more, you know, stricter rules and requirements. So you may not have a harder time getting pre-approved there.
Oh, wow. And then Realtor Alyssa, not Buyer Alyssa, can also speak to the fact that who you're working with, your specific loan officer, matters sometimes even more than which bank you're working with. So, you know, you could have success at your bank, but your loan officer may not be on top of things, and you could miss deadlines, and that could put your closing into some dangerous territory there. Okay, awesome. So now the next question we're going to go over is, so I'm all ready. I've called Alyssa, told her I want to get looking at houses. She's recommended you, and I'm getting ready to call you. So what do I need to have? What do I need to do?
Well, we need to have an application put in.
Okay.
It's going to ask the basic, you know, social security, your name, your address, history for the past 2 years. The other thing that the application is gonna ask is your employment history for the past 2 years. Okay. So you just want to make sure that you have, you know, all that information from, you know, your dates and your income from the last 2 years to be able to enter.
So I'm going to need like pay stubs and bank statements, all the credit stuff. You guys just pull the credit report, and that's good. And how long does that approximately take?
The application probably takes about 10 minutes.
Okay. And how long does it take usually, if there aren't any like crazy wild things that come up on my credit report, how long does it usually take for me to get pre-approved?
I mean, it depends. You know, if you call me at 10 o'clock in the morning, I can potentially have you pre-approved by the end of the day.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. Well, that was really good info. I hope that you guys found that really helpful, and I hope we covered all of the questions that you guys have. Now, if we didn't, please leave a comment below and ask your question, and either Lynn or I will get back to you really quickly, and we can get those covered too. So you can find me at myhomeincincy.com, and that's Cincy with a Y, and you can find Lynn at ruoff, ruoff.com/Lynn Sheely, which we will spell out for you as well. And remember to like this video and subscribe if it was helpful. It really helps get a lot of good information out there for everybody that is looking to buy a home. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming all the way to Trio today, Lynn.
Thank you.
Awesome.